So the first story is The Turtle and the Hare. Long ago, the Dragon King of the East Sea became very ill. The court physician read the king's pulse and then, looking very grim, said to the Dragon King, "Your Majesty, you must eat the fresh liver of a hare. That is a land animal. Unfortunately, it is the only thing that will cure your Majesty's disease. Send for a hare liver at once," said the Dragon King, turning to his chief court minister. "But, your Majesty, we sea creatures can't live on land," replied the minister. All the other present nodded in agreement. "Nonsense! There is one among you who can," said the Dragon King. "And that is I," said the Turtle, slowly making his way to the minister. "Being a turtle, I can survive on land. I would be honored to be able to fetch a hare to cure your Majesty." The Dragon King ordered the court artists to paint a picture of a hare for the turtle, and in no time at all he had in his hands a detailed picture of the long-legged, long-eared creature. Tucking it safely inside his shell, the turtle departed on his quest. Sometimes swimming, sometimes floating, he eventually came to land. He looked in all directions for a place from which to watch out of a hare, eventually settling in a small mountain overlooking some farmland. It was a lovely spring day. Birds and butterflies filled the sky and many animals passed below, but not one looked like the animal in the drawing he had. Exhausted, he stretched out his long neck and scanned his immediate surroundings. As he did, his eyes came to rest on a patch of clovers. Much to his delight, the reason for his long journey was in the middle of the patch, nibbling the tender leaves and flowers. He cleared his voice and took a deep breath. "Excuse me," he said. The hare quickly hopped away, but being a very curious hare, he sneaked up behind the turtle and something on its shell, said in a loud voice, "Who are you and where do you come from?" "Oh, it's you, Mr. Hare. I've heard so much about you. I'm delighted to make your acquaintance." "Earthly delighted. I'm Turtle. I'm from the East Sea." The hare was pleased to hear that the turtle had heard of him. "Yes, right. I'm pleased to meet you, too. But may I ask what you are doing here so far from home?" I'm out sightseeing. You see, I had heard so many good things about the land you live on, that I wanted to see it myself. It is nice indeed, but it doesn't compare with my home, which is truly a world of beauty. Have you ever visited the kingdom at the bottom of the sea?" asked the turtle. "No, I haven't," said the hare. "That's too bad. I would have thought a creature that moves as fast as you would have been everywhere," said the turtle, trying to flatter the hare. "Well, I have often thought that I would like to visit there sometime. I've been to many places, and it would round out my travels," boasted the hare. "Then come along with me. I'll show you the most fantastic sights of our fair kingdom," cajoled the turtle. "But I heard it was impossible to go there," said the hare with a great surprise. "That's what everyone says." "Yet it is," said the turtle. "Unless, of course, you travel with me. I will show you the things more splendid than you could ever dream about. Just think of the marvelous adventures you would be able to recount to your friends." "Yes, indeed, that would be something to tell my friends," mused the hare. "Just imagine how ambitious—" "Enough, enough! I'll go, I'll go!" exclaimed the hare. "Just hop on my back," said the turtle, trying hard to contain his excitement. The turtle crawled back to the seashore with the hare boasting about his travels and exploits all the way. "Now hold on tight to my shell," said the turtle, and dove into the sea. He swam straight down. Finally, with the hare holding his breath all the way, they arrived at the kingdom at the very bottom of the sea. The turtle led the hare to a room beautiful, decorated with the coral and shells, and left him there, saying that he would be back soon. The hare waited there in his guest room until a school of swordfish and cuttlefish came and told him to come with them. "His Majesty has been expecting you," said the cuttlefish. "It's been expecting me?" asked the hare. "Of course. He's been anxiously awaiting your arrival," said the cuttlefish, to the amusement of the swordfish. "Why?" asked the hare in astonishment. "Because of your great liver," said the cuttlefish, wrapping a long tentacle around the hare. "Your great liver," he chuckled. "But I don't understand," said the hare, beginning to feel uncomfortable. In time," said the cuttlefish. Presently they came to a large door covered with pearls. "Now be quiet," said the cuttlefish, just as the door swung open. "Your Majesty, King of the Sea, and all that resides therein," his voice boomed out. "Here is the hare." The hare looked up and almost fell over in shock at finding himself there before the Dragon King. He was so scared that his long pink ears shook in fear. "Welcome to my kingdom," said the Dragon King in a hoarse voice. "I'm very sick, and the turtle brought you here so that I can eat your liver. It is the only known cure for my illness. But please do not feel sad. Your death will not be in vain. It is for a good cause. Consider yourself fortunate to have died for a worthy cause, rather than as the prey of a hunter or some beast of the forest. Now prepare yourself to die a noble death." The hare knew that he had to remain calm. He bowed deeply to the Dragon King, and then, to have time to think of a way to save himself, he bowed to all the nobles surrounding the Dragon King and the swordfish guards standing ready to slay him. "Your Majesty," he finally said, bowing to the Dragon King again, "I would gladly sacrifice myself to save your life. Unfortunately, slitting open my belly now would not do either of us any good, because my liver is not with me." "What?" roared the Dragon King. Do you expect me to believe that? What is true, Your Majesty? Since my liver has special curing powers, it is always in great demand. Therefore, I use it mostly at night and then keep it hidden in my daytime. If Turtle had only told me of Your Majesty's illness before, I would have gladly brought it. Do you think I am a fool? Asked the Dragon King. It is impossible to take one's liver out at will. Then he turned to his court ministers. Isn't that right? Yes, Your Majesty, completely impossible. They trust. Look, Your Majesty, look at my mouth. No other creature can take a liver out at will. That's why my upper lip is split, said the hare. The great hall was slant. Now if it would help Your Majesty, I would gladly go get my liver if Turtle will take me home. Turtle, said the Dragon King, finally spoke. Take the hare to get his liver and hurry. The turtle and the hare departed at once. The hare danced for joy when the turtle at long last crawled out of the water. He laughed and laughed until he thought his liver really would pop right out of his mouth. I know you must be happy to be home for one final visit, said the turtle after catching his breath. But please make haste and get your liver. We really must hurry back to the Dragon King. You stupid turtle! Despite your ears, you actually believe I can remove my liver. Ha ha ha! You thought you would trick me, but I have had the last laugh, said the hare. He hopped away, laughing boisterously. The turtle wept as he thought about his dying king. He knew there wasn't enough time for him to capture another hare. Suddenly a god with a long white beard appeared and said in a resonant voice, Don't despair. I will help you, for you are the one of the great faithfulness. Take these ginseng roots to your king. They will cure his illness and restore his health. The turtle thanked him and hurried back to the Dragon King's palace with the ginseng roots. The Dragon King ate them and became well immediately. Now better, he gave the turtle the positions of special attendant and made him the highest ranking minister in his court. The end. Woo! It's the second story, and it's about the rabbit and the tiger. So another. Okay. The rabbit and the tiger. A long time ago, on a sunny spring day, a little rabbit was just waking up from a very pleasant, peaceful nap in the shade of a big rock. He said as he stretched. What a good nap! Then suddenly he heard a strange noise. It was a huge tiger just a few feet away. The tiger had been watching him taking his nap. What a pleasure to meet you, Rabbit, said the tiger. I'm very hungry. I think I will eat you at once. The tiger opened his mouth wide. Its shadow was bigger than the rabbit. The pleasure is all mine, Tiger, said the rabbit, who was very worried and trying to think of a way to get out of the situation alive. I must ask that you don't eat me right away. Just a second. Why? Growled the tiger. Wouldn't you like some rice cakes first? I know you're very hungry, and I am too small to be a full meal for a tiger as big as you, the rabbit explained. Is this some kind of trick? Asked the tiger. I'm offended that you would even think such a thing. All right then, purred the tiger. Give me some rice cakes to eat before I finish you off. And be quick about it. It will only take me a second to get the rice cake. I have some on the other side of this rock. Quickly the rabbit hopped to the other side of the rock and picked up 11 smooth white stones. Then hopped back to where the tiger was waiting. The tiger was very suspicious. These look like stones, growled the tiger, showing his teeth. Don't be silly, said the rabbit. Rice cakes always look like stones until you cook them. Just wait, you'll see. Then the rabbit hopped around gathering sticks for a fire, never leaving sight of the tiger that was lazily waiting for his meal. When there was a nice blaze going, and this was a long time since the rabbit was trying to move as slow as he could, he put the rocks in it. As the stones sat warming in the fire, the rabbit chatted with the tiger about things like the weather as if they were close friends. Soon the tiger no longer doubted. Oh, said the rabbit. I forgot to get some soy sauce. Soy sauce? What's that? Asked the tiger. You've never heard of soy sauce? The rabbit was now teasing the tiger. It makes cooked rice cakes taste much better. I will get some and be right back. You watch the rice cakes so they don't burn. All right, don't take all day, roared the tiger. The rabbit hopped away as quickly as he could. As he made his escape, he looked back over his shoulder. I'll be right back, tiger, he called. But promise me you won't eat any of those 10 rice cakes until I come back, okay? I know there are 10 in all. Then he hopped along, laughing all the way. The tiger sat in front of the fire, getting hungrier and hungrier. The stones were getting red with heat. As the tiger waited, he counted the rice cakes in the fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11? The tiger counted again. 11! That silly rabbit. Well, I'll eat just one rice cake while I wait for him to come back. He'll never know the difference. The tiger swallowed one of the red-hot stones. He had never felt anything like the pain he would now experience. The tiger screamed and jumped and ran as the stone burned his mouth, his throat, and then his stomach. He could be heard screaming for miles. Because of his burns, The tiger could not eat anything for many days. He just lay in bed and thought about what the rabbit had done to him. Then he was well enough to leave his cave. He was terribly hungry and terribly angry. While he was out looking for something to eat, he ran into the rabbit again. "How nice to see you again," the tiger growled. "Did you actually think you could get away with the cruel trick you played on me?" he said. Then he opened his mouth wide like the last time to eat the rabbit all in one gulp. The rabbit was confident of himself this time, so he smiled as he thought quickly. "Why are you so mad at me? There must have been some sort of misunderstanding." The tiger did not know what to say. "I have an idea," said Rabbit. "No, oh no, not again," growled the tiger. "I won't let you trick me again." "Trick you? Me? Trick you? Never. In fact, I was just on my way to your cave. I wanted to tell you how to catch birds just by opening your mouth." The tiger was very hungry at this point. Just thinking about eating birds made him mouth water. "Are you sure this isn't a trick?" he asked. "Of course not," the rabbit reassured him. "Just trust me." The rabbit led the tiger into the middle of a field of wheat. He looked at the tiger and told him, "Open your mouth and close your eyes for a big surprise while I chase birds in your direction." Then the rabbit hopped away. The tiger waited as patiently as he could, with his head held high and his mouth opened wide. To pass the time, he closed his eyes and thought about how good the birds would taste. In the distance, he could hear the rabbit making noises to scare the birds into his mouth. "Shoo, shoo," he heard him say. He also heard a sound that crackled and sizzled, but he did not pay much attention to it at first. Gradually, the cracking sound became louder and louder. He thought the crackling was the movement of the birds he was going to lunch on. In anticipation, he opened his mouth even wider. Then he didn't taste any bird's meat. The tiger finally opened his eyes. That's when he saw a field full of weeds burning on around him. The clever rabbit had set it afire. The tiger ran from the field. But to get out of the field, he had to run through the fire. "Oh no, Rabbit tricked me again," he shouted. "This time I'm lucky to be alive." The hungry tiger was so badly burned that he had to spend many very painful weeks lying in his cave. The end. Oh, there's the tiger! Our poor tiger.